Hello, how are you? I'm sorry I'm in my car driving. I had to emergency trip out of the house, so I look and I did want to keep the 4 o'clock time. How are you doing? How's everything going? Just wanted to do a quick catch up with you guys to see how y'all are doing, to see what you guys are up to. You're doing great. Connection is not good. Uh-oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I was started to say I'll be live at 5 o'clock because I'll be home by then. I'll be home in about 30 minutes. But I said, let me see if how it goes because instead of saying, hey, I'll be live at 5 o'clock. Yeah, so guys, I'll just talk and tell y'all what has been going on with me. If y'all have any questions, let's just connect. So y'all know I stopped my notary business a while ago, and I just had my 2 year anniversary of my government contracting business last month, and everything has been going really well, really strong. Really happy with it, and that's pretty much what has gone on. I've done a few vlogs like last year showing some of my processes. I have a short channel of the processes, but not like outside of that. So yeah, what have y'all been doing? Are y'all still doing the notary business? Like, what is new with you? How's everything going? Like, what are y'all doing? How's everything going? I'm happy that you guys are here with me, but I want to know how is everything going with you. So like I said, I meant to be at home actually getting ready during this live, but I had to make an emergency lead trip out of the house. And so here I am. Anyway, like I was saying, I haven't done the notary business in 2 years. I just celebrated 2 years last month of my government contracting business, and that's been going so well. But I said, let me just connect with everyone. I was figuring maybe I could go live weekly just so that we could, still have some sort of connection. Because are you still in the notary business? What are you doing? Like, how's everything going? Are you working your 9 to 5? Have you started another business? Like, how's everything going? But thank you, congratulations, thank you. Yeah, so I ended up doing like pretty pretty good with my business. I had a goal of hitting $1 million in a year. I have not hit that as of yet. So still working on hitting that. Now, if you look at everything that I've done collectively, like over the last 2 years, yes, I have got there, but I want to do it in 1 year. And then I want to kind of build my goal from there if I can. So some of the types of contracts I have with the government, the one that I've shown more than anything is the janitorial contracts. I have a few janitorial contracts with different government entities, and I have employees. I have I want to say about six. One, two, three, four, five, six employees with that, and then I've also done things like anyway, it's been so good, y'all. It's been so good. It's been such a breath of fresh air from like my notary business. And the reason being is because you're not working for like, $100 here, $200 there. You're working for thousands of dollars. You know what I mean? So, for example, yesterday, I sent an invoice to one of my clients and it was for $2,700. And I sent an invoice to another one of my clients and it was for over $14,000. So, I did share on YouTube in one of my vlogs last year that I did have my first $100,000 month, which was super exciting. I was really excited about that. Very, very excited about that. And I am still working toward having $1 million in revenue within a 12-month period. Well, within a year, a calendar year, actually. Hello, hello. I see you guys saying hello. Yeah, so I am working toward having like $1 million year. Um, Hopefully it happens this year, because with government contracting, anything can happen. Like anything can happen, just like that. You know what I'm saying? So if you bid on something and if you're awarded that thing, then bam, there is your money. That's where your money is at. You know what I'm saying? And so, um, I love it, guys. I think that I am in the right place. I feel very happy with what I'm doing. My company has grown. My daughter, she handles like the HR part of the company. So when it comes to disciplinary action, hiring, firing, interviewing, recruiting, stuff like that. My son-in-law is my operations manager. And then if we have a special project, he does the project management, which is within his background. My husband works on legal stuff for my business. So it works out really well, y'all. It works out so good. It's been working out so good. So you said, sorry, I miss what you're doing. So I've been contracting with the government. So government contracting is what I have been doing. I've spoken about it in several of my more recent blogs, and I've done a lot of different types of contracts. So essentially, the government will put out something stating that they need a particular thing done. And then you just simply say, if you can do it, you show your credentials to, basically prove like you can do it. And then you also bid on it. And when you bid on it, then you may be awarded it, you may not be awarded that particular contract. So the very first time that I was awarded a contract was for chips for a prison, chips for a prison, like chips that you eat for a prison. And I have really gone back and forth with, should I really show people how to do this business, because it has really elevated my life so much. Um, and I'm not sure. I'm still not sure. I feel more certain than I was before, but anyway, that's not even why I'm going live. But that my very first one that I won was chips for prison. The second one that I won was for mold remediation off of a ship. And then the next one that I won was a janitorial contract, and that's like recurring revenue because we clean all the time, like Monday through Friday. And then it's just been more and more from there. You said hi, hey Dustin, hey Dustin. Um, yes, please. Okay, yes. So anyway, it's just like recurring revenue with the janitorial. Then we won a debris contract where there was a storm and there was a lot of like tree limbs to get cleaned up. And we won that one. So that was good. That one paid $85,000. Um, we had another one that we won, which was another debris cleanup, and that one was good. That one paid about 50,000. We ended up having like another janitorial contract, and that's recurring revenue, so that's good. And then it's just been things like that. So everything has been going really good. So tell me what y'all have been doing. Is anyone still doing the notary work? Is Are you working your 9 to 5? Are you working your business? And the reason why I'm asking too, because maybe contracting with the government is something that you want to do. Is so If you think about it, there's like so many different things that you can do in order to like sell to the government. Essentially, they tell you what they need, and you say, okay, yes, I can get it done. So if you have a lawn care business, if you have a marketing company, if you have a plumbing, HVAC, if you have a hauling business, if you have a clothing company, if you have a furniture company, if you have literally anything, y'all, anything, printing company, you may be able to provide uniforms. You may be able to provide promotional material like for a park or something of that nature. There are so many contracts, and what I do, I spend my days looking for opportunities, qualifying those opportunities, and then deciding to whether I'm going to bid on the opportunities or not. And it's been going so good. Like I said, this is 2 years, 2 years that I've had doing this type of business. Do you have any questions for me? Because I feel like I'm just talking about, you know, what I've been doing in the last 2 years as of lately. So that's pretty much what has been happening with me. Yeah, that's pretty much what has been happening with me. And you said I would love to. And by the way, y'all, like there's no cars. I'm in the country. There's no cars this road, so I would never dare do this if there were. But yeah, so I would love to learn and want to replace my current income doing something else besides cleaning. Oh yeah, I know, child. Cleaning is not for the weak. It really is not. And what'd you say about your notary business and down and your notary business up and down? I think that's what you said. Okay. Yeah, there's like literally I was telling my sister this a few weeks ago that there's money everywhere when it comes to government contracting. When you're out in a public space and if you throw trash in a trash receptacle, that's a government contract. When it rains and the rain causes damage, whether it's water intrusion, whether it's storm damage, that's a government contract. When you see people working on the roads, that's a government contract. When you see new construction happening of a school or something like that, that's a government contract. When you see the police in their uniforms, the police cars, the water department's cars, those are government contracts. And then if you think about the buildings that are there, the furniture within those buildings, the copier machine, the paper that's being supplied, all those things are government contracts, y'all. So she said, yes, what exactly are the duties? More clerical, virtual? I guess you're talking about the government contracts. They're really whatever. So just to kind of give you an idea, my mom, she passed away a year and some change ago, and I had already won contracts and I had some already with recurring revenue. And I was so thankful for the business that I'm currently in because I was able to take the time and really grieve her without the intrusion of work. Excuse me. At that time, the only thing that I had to do was run payroll like every 2 weeks. So, excuse me, that's run payroll for my team every 2 weeks is what I had to do. That was the only thing. And that would seem like such a huge thing to do. So there are contracts that are, some are more hands-on. You have to be more hands-on than others, just depending on what the specifications are and then what you're willing to do. So for instance, when I did that mold remediation contract, I that contract was in Louisiana. I believe it was in Louisiana. I'm trying to remember. It was guard and it was in Louisiana. And I picked up the phone on a Sunday. No. I didn't pick up the phone. I emailed a company on a Sunday evening asking them for their pricing. And I ended up getting their pricing. I submitted that contract that day because it was due that day to submit. And then what ended up happening is I got a call from the government saying that I won the contract. And when I won the contract, what ended up happening is they went and they performed on the work. And they performed on the work. They did the mold remediation. It took them 4 days to do it. And I made $8,700 and some change from that contract. So that was more virtual. All I had to do was just make sure that everyone had what they make sure that they were in place. And the subcontractor that I chose communicated really well. So it wasn't bad at all. Like that was a beautiful contract. I really really enjoyed working with them. And yeah, I submitted my invoice, and then once I submitted my invoice, I got paid. And then when I got paid, I paid my subcontractors what we agreed to, and I was left with $8,700, I think $20. I think that was the change part. $8,720 for something that took 4 days, and for somewhere that I didn't even have to go. I like I said, it was in Louisiana, and I was trying to think, was it in Louisiana? And it was. My subcontractor, their company was in Arkansas, but it was very close. It was just a couple of hours drive for them. So yeah, so that's virtual. But now when I had this debris removal contract, it was a lot of debris that needed to be cleaned up. And what ended up happening is I just like tried to sub it out, but I couldn't get anyone to take the job. So I went to the place, and it was about 4 hours from my home. I went to the place and I just managed the project. My son-in-law, he managed it the first week, and then I managed it for the remaining few weeks. And then just making sure everyone was doing what they were told, keeping up with the paperwork that was necessary to keep up with. And giving orders, basically understanding what needed to be done and telling people do it in this order. And that's exactly what happened. And that contract was $85,000. So and that took 4 weeks to do, but really it could have taken a lot less. It was just that I had a learning curve, and I was inexperienced in that way, and so it could have taken a lot shorter of a time. It could have taken like 2 weeks to complete, in hindsight. And so, some projects are virtual, where you don't have to do anything. My brother, he does some hood cleanings for me, and it's like 4 days worth of work. Well, the last time he did it, it was supposed to be 5 days, but he only was given 4 days to get it done. And then when he brought his team up there, and in those 4 days, I paid him $15,000 for those 4 days, and then I had my profit too. So that was one that was virtual. Like I didn't have to be there in person. And then my cleaning ones, like the cleaning contracts that I have, I never have to be at one. And then the other one, it does require me to be there sometimes, just because the a lot of things. Just because a lot of things. Okay, let me catch up with some of these comments. Hold on. Give me 1 second. All right, 2 more seconds, and then I can try to catch up with some of these comments. Okay, can you share how you are able to find? Wait, can you share how you are paid on these contracts? Oh, yeah, it's different. It just depends on the agency that you're working with. It's different. So, um, like I said earlier in the live, I'm not sure if you was on it. I just invoiced one of my clients $2,700 yesterday, and I invoiced another one of my clients over $14,000 yesterday. Those are recurring contracts that we have. It's just time to invoice them, and they require an invoice. So when I send them an invoice, then they cut a check. So one of my clients cuts a check on a specific day of the month. Another one of my clients cuts the check when they receive the invoice, and then they mail the check. So most of my clients mail me a check. I do have some where it is ACH payments, but it just depends on how that entity or that agency handles their accounts payable, accounts receivable stuff. So that's but most of them pay me by check. And there are initially, one of them was like a net 30, but now it's just basically when I send the invoice, then that's when the check is cut. So yes. Okay, so let's see. She said, are these short and long term? Yes, they are short and long term contracts. Some contracts are what I call one and done. It's just like they need this one thing, And once that one thing is done, that's it. Others are recurring. So the recurring, it could be just twice a year. It could be once a month. It could be daily. It could be Monday through Friday. It could be weekly. It just depends on what it is that they're asking. But they give you all those specifications ahead of time. And so that way you can price it accordingly. All right. Hold up. I think I missed somebody. Yes. Are you driving around? No, I'm not. I'm driving home. So I didn't mean to be scheduling the live around the time when I was on the road. Actually, I meant to stay home all day and I had to make a quick trip. Unfortunately, I didn't want to, but it was very necessary. And so I'm on my way home now. So that's the first part. Are you driving? So yes, I am, but I didn't want to reschedule. And where I'm driving at is really, really country, and I've been driving on this highway for ooh, over 20 years. We're 29 years. I'm very familiar with this highway, and yeah, it's big country. It's very always very very much low key, nothing much going on. Oh, gee, I didn't read the whole question. Are you driving around helping get contracts? Not driving around to go get contracts. Like I love this business, y'all, because I hardly have to leave my house, and I like not having to leave my house. Um, is this bringing in funding to these locations? Um, I like different agencies get their money in different ways. Sometimes some people get money through grants. I don't know how they get their money. All I know is like whenever application for you to do, you just fulfill it, and they won't have it if they don't have the money. That's the way it works. So it's like guaranteed money. You know what I'm saying? Like it's guaranteed money to the extent that you can count on it. Okay. The other question says, can you share how you are paid on these contracts? I read that one already and I did that one.